What is going on, everybody? It is Luke Beller with the Sideline Scoop, and last night, the Packers got the victory that we needed. You know, we talked about in previous videos how coming up against this 49ers team, they have so many injuries, and if the Packers lost this game, that would be very, very concerning and very sad to see. But luckily, we got the W, we got the win, so now we are 6-2. So in this video, I'm going to break down a little bit of the offense: Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, Tyler Ervin, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Davante. And on the defensive side of the ball, we got, Raven Green having an interception, Smith Rose. I'm going to cover all of that in this video here today. One thing I want to talk about right before I get into the video is all of you guys who have yet to turn on your post notifications. Right now, 15.7% of you have your post notifications on. I think it's like 200 something of you, so thank you so much. Let's see if we can double that. Let's see if we can go from 15% notifications on to 30. It might be too big to ask, it might be too much to ask for, but I'm a kind of person who likes to dream big, shoot big, shoot for the stars. So if you guys have yet to turn it on, feel free to do that, so that way, videos come out, they get sent right to your phone. But now that that's out of the way, let's get into this video. All right, so first off, I want to talk about this Packers defense, because coming into this game, of course, after playing Dalvin Cook, getting completely run over by him, there was lots of questions about this defense. And so coming into this week with the 49ers missing 8 of their offensive players, yeah, you got that right, 8 offensive players on their side of the ball. With them missing that many players, we knew that the Packers needed to come here and have a dominant performance, because if we can't play well against a very beat-up 49ers team, it's going to be tough to play well against any other team. So obviously we came in, we got the job done. So talking about Nick Mullens first, I covered in the preview video how versus the Seahawks, he had played pretty well, but in a game prior in the season, he threw 2 interceptions and was benched. And so I thought what the Packers needed to do was, of course, force Nick Mullens to make mistakes, because he seems sort of like a person who is a little bit prone to maybe make some more bad decisions, and that's exactly what the Packers did in this game. The pass rush was great in this game. Za'Darius Smith came up with a sack, forced fumble recovery, and 5 different players had 2 or more pressures, which is great for the Packers. And we pressured Nick Mullens on 41.7% of dropbacks, which was a season high. So the Packers defense brought the heat in this game versus the 49ers. In one play in particular, that was just beautiful. Preston Smith comes in, Nick Mullens getting ready to throw, smacks Nick Mullens, ball flying through the air. Raven Green comes up and gets the interception. That was the Packers' first interception thing since I think week 2 of the season. So that was good to see that, we finally got an interception. And Za'Darius Smith had something to say about that. He said, "That got us fired up," Za'Darius Smith said of that turnover. "We was hyped off of that. P has been talking about rushing for a while. As you guys know, he's been dropping a lot. And for him to get that pressure and come back to the sideline and have a turnover play like that, that was big for us. And that set the tone for us as a defense to go out there and be dominant." So that is great. Great job, Preston Smith. Great job, Raven Green. It's great to see an interception from the Packers. And then Darnell Savage almost got, picked off Nick Mullens for his second interception of the game. But Savage unfortunately dropped it, but it was a close one. And there were lots of plays in there. Packers were bringing pressure, and Nick Mullens just sort of throwing it up there. Obviously he has some problems with his decision making, but it was good to see the Packers come out there and capitalize, get the interception. So Mullens finished the game 22 for 35, 291 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. So not a great game from him. And then their best receiving threat was actually Richie James, who had 9 receptions, 184 yards, and 1 touchdown. And I had never heard of that guy. And considering like Ayuk was out and Deebo Samuel was out, George Kittle was out, it made sense that they found this random guy who I'd never heard of before, came in, had a great game for the 49ers. But another nice thing to see is the Packers really, really held this 49ers rushing attack in check. Of course, they were without Raheem Mostert, who ran for 200 yards against us in that NFC Championship game, and they were without Tevin Coleman. But Jerick McKinnon was playing, and JaMycal Hasty was also playing. And so we held them to 55 rush yards on 16 carries, and that's good to see after just getting blown out by Dalvin Cook. So definitely, even though this team has had so many injuries, this is sort of what we need to see from this Packers defense come here and, get this decisive victory. So now taking a look at this Packers offense, Aaron Rodgers once again comes in with a clutch performance, 25 for 31, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions with a 147.2 rating. Just an incredible, amazing game from Aaron Rodgers. And so far in the season, if you take a look at this tweet right here from PFF, which of course they grade players. So Aaron Rodgers, 90 plus PFF grade in 3 games this season, and he had 3 combined in 2017, 2018, and 2019. So as we can see, Aaron Rodgers this season is playing out of his mind. One of his probably best seasons in a long time. Actually so far, because now we're about 8 games through the season, so halfway through the season right now, Aaron Rodgers has 24 touchdowns, which ties his franchise record for most passing touchdowns through the first 8 games of the season, which he also had 24 back in 2011. And 2011 was the year where he went on to have his career best 45 touchdown passes. So right now, Rodgers is on pace to just completely, dominate the stat category so far, and who knows, maybe he can come up with the MVP. Of course, there are some really other, talented quarterbacks, like Russell Wilson's playing really good too, but Rodgers has a shot. He's playing out of his mind right now. And then, of course, we got Davante Adams, who comes up with 10 receptions, 173 yards, and 1 touchdown. He also had 6 receptions of 15-plus yards yesterday versus the 49ers. So right now, Davante Adams is playing like, the best wide receiver in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers is slinging it out to Davante. Great game from Davante once again. And then Marquez Valdes-Scantling actually had a good game. It was sort of an interesting game. He, you guys probably remember, it was a 3rd down play. Rodgers throws the ball out to Valdes-Scantling. He drops it. I'm like, oh no, here we go again. Because Valdes-Scantling has dropped so many passes this season, and he hasn't been great this season. But then he has 2 more catches in the game, both of which are touchdowns. I think he had one 50-yard touchdown, another short touchdown. So it's great to see him come in there and get 2 touchdowns. But it's funny that it was only on 2 catches that he got those touchdowns. But nonetheless, it's great to see another guy besides Davante Adams getting a touchdown, getting the ball. So great job, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And then Aaron Jones actually ended up playing in the game. It sort of seemed so far this week like he wouldn't suit up, but he did suit up. He had 20 touches for 79 yards, so a little less than he used to when he was healthy, but it makes sense considering they probably want to bring him in a little bit slowly, not rush him back too fast. And then Tyler Ervin had a great game, 12 touches, 72 yards. And 5 of his 12 touches converted for first downs. So Tyler Ervin is proving, or basically showing to be a great threat for this Packers offense. He's very versatile. They can move him around a lot. Wide receiver, running back, jet motions, all these kinds of things. And so it's great to see sort of that little gadget like that the Packers can use on the offensive side of the ball. And then the last thing I want to touch on for this offense is the offensive line. Because, of course, Bakhtiari, didn't play once again in this game. So Billy Turner got his 3rd straight start at the left tackle position. And actually around halftime, Rick Wagner was injured, so the Packers had to shift everything around. Elton Jenkins went to left tackle, Billy Turner went to right tackle, and John Runyon came in to play left guard. And so honestly, I'm pretty shocked at how well this Packers offensive line has been without David Bakhtiari being in the lineup, because the fact that we're switching around guys so much, just moving them all around, and the fact that they're really protecting Aaron Rodgers, because yesterday in the game we only allowed 1 sack and 0 hits. So this squad has been playing amazing without Bakhtiari. So that's great to see that we have some depth on the offensive line. Then here's a quote Rodgers had about the defensive line yesterday. He said, "When it comes to protection, I don't think we had to change a whole lot," Rodgers said. "Elton, he's a talented guy over there, and John has proven that he's a reliable backup and he's done a good job. I think he's been in 3 times now because of injury and done a good job all 3 times. Those guys really held up good." So a great game from this Packers team. We are now 6-2, sitting atop the NFC North, looking really good. Hopefully we can continue to improve off this performance, playing the Jaguars next week. So that shouldn't be the hardest game ever. The Jaguars have not been good so far this season. So that is going to be all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. Make sure you drop a like down below. And if you've yet to subscribe, make sure you subscribe. And also, don't forget, make sure you turn on your post notifications, because I think we're going to double the amount of you guys who have the post notifications on. I believe in my heart. So let's see if we can't get this done. But that's going to be all for today. You guys are the best. Go Pack, go baby. See you guys on the next one.